Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Churchill Downs here on Thursday. It's the 2nd of May, 2024. It's Derby Day from Churchill. I'm going to look at the stakes races, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and also join me tomorrow for my Kentucky Oaks preview, and also Saturday for my Derby preview. I'm hoping to get those up tomorrow. Oaks video Derby video might have to stay for one more day. Hopefully it'll definitely be up by Thursday. But today for this Derby card, some great racing here. We're going to be looking at races 9, 10, 11, and all stakes pick 3. Let's get to it right now. The 9th race from Churchill. The first 2-year-old race I'm actually looking at all year. It is the Kentucky Juvenile Stakes, going for a purse $250,000. Race for 2-year-olds here. Field 9 horses going 1,000 meters or 5 furlongs on the Churchill main track. Top selection here. I'm going to go with the 9-horse Mensa. I'm going to go 9753 in the superfecta. 9753 super. Top selection 9-horse Mensa. 2-year-old Ridgeling by Complexity here. Mark Cassidy trains this one. Jose Ortiz gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 12th of April at Gulfstream. 4.5 furlongs in main special weight, 62,000. And this horse won by 3 lengths. And from the rail, he broke on top, and he was on the front end driving. He wakened up nicely. Patrick Husbands, the veteran, rode this horse. Not a bad race. Mark Cassidy has these numbers with 2-year-olds early on this season. Refreshing here. Going to have to overcome a wide poster, but I think he has the ability to, step up in class, get the job done. I'm going to use him here. I think the 7-horse Shoot It True for Wesley Ward and Harley Gaffleone could get a trip also. Most recently, opening weekend at Keeneland, going 4.5 in the main special weight. He won by 7.5 lengths that day. Again, stupidly wide poster up, but he broke like a quarter horse and he flew home clear late. That's what you see from your Wesley Ward 2-year-olds at Keeneland at 46 cents a dollar. He won in basically ease that day. Since the last race, he is trading quite nicely. 48-4 first workout back from the previous race at Keeneland, and for 48-4 for a half-mile drill, 5th best workout 26, and a half-mile locally in 48-1, 31st best workout 60. Refreshing here. She could win here, and I also think you have to give a shout out to the 5-horse Jet Sweep Joe for Luis Saez and Paul McEntry. Most recently, going on the 17th of April, Keeneland in a 4.5 furlong main special weight. He won by 1/4 lengths that day and gamed it out to the wire. Looked like it was going to go down late, but really just dug in to get the job done. Work of pounds for this horse has been very nicely done. Gets a good post draw. I like that he showed some gameness in his early debut. I'll give him a shot here in the pick 4. But to recap my selection for the 9th now from Churchill, it's the Kentucky Juvenile. I'm going to take the 9-horse Mensa. Give kudos to the 7-horse Shoot It True and the 5-horse Jet Sweep Joe. 9753 super, 975 in the multi-race. Let's get to the 10th race now from Churchill, which is the St. Matthews Stakes. It's going for a purse of $200,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards, which is not one of graded sweepstakes. 7 horses are going 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs on the main track. I'm going to take here the number 6 horse, Bourbon Bash. 6452 for me in the superfecta. 6452 super. Top selection is 6 horse Bourbon Bash. This 4-year-old gal by City of Light here. D. Wayne Lucas trains. Keith Asmussen gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 30th of March at Oaklawn. 6 furlongs and allowance race for $150,000. Great purse money there. The horse went by 2.5 lengths that day, and basically not the best beginnings early on, but he settled well towards the back of the pack. Bit of a trouble trip late, but he came up the rail to get the job done. I thought that was a very good run. He's refreshing here at Churchill, where he hasn't won in the past, but he's run these game races. I think he can get the job done. 2 back at Oaklawn and at the end of January, 6 furlongs in the mud, and allowance for $140,000. He finished 3rd by 3 lengths that day. And again, he sat back early, a little bit, troubled trip, but he was gaining that day. Not the world's worst race in defeat. And then New Year's Day at Oaklawn, 6 furlongs, allowance race $140,000, finishing 2nd by 3/4 length. Again, he sat back early. He really gamed late. Not a bad race. He hasn't won in quite a few years, before this last one. You have to go back to 2022 for his previous victory, but he was running these good races in the allowance conditions last year. He ran once in the stakes quality horses in the Harris Creek on this track in September, where he had a decent place that day. Not a bad race after all said and done. Refreshing here at 7-2, he can win. I'll use him on the ticket. The 4 is Miniwa, the veteran for Flavian Pratt and William Walden, could win also, I think. Most recently in the Telefull handicap of the 6 on the 2nd of March, he ran a very good 2nd place finish by 1/4 lengths. He was stupidly wide that day, but he was gaining on the slop. Prior to the toboggan, he finished 2nd by 4 lengths behind Super Chow, who was basically, drifting into the grandstand or into the clubhouse. This horse was, a little bit wide, but he was gaining. Since coming to the new barn, he's really showed potential. it wasn't the world's toughest horses he was facing in New York, but he showed some decent races. Coming here to Churchill, where he's won in the past, it's been a while since he's won here, but he's another horse he can win. Even the 5 horse here, Bango, could be a very short price for Tyler Gaffney and Gregory Foley, but he likes his track. He's 24-11 on it. Most recent victory locally came in the Louisville Thoroughbred Society here in September, where he won by a head, and he had to game it out to the wire. That was a very good, strong performance. Came back to run a decent third in the Phoenix and a decent third in the Better Sunshine Stakes. He won this race basically by half a dozen last year, last spring. Came back to have a decent campaign last year. He can win. He likes his track. He's trending well on it. It wouldn't surprise me at even money, but he's going to get very overbet in this race. But I'll use him in the pick 3. But to recap my selection for the 10th now from Churchill, it's the same Matthews. Going to take the 6-horse Bourbon Bash. Give kudos to the 4-horse Many Want and the 5-horse Bango. 6-4, 5-2 Super. 6-4, 5 in the multi-race. The featured 11th race now from Churchill to the turf course. It's the opening verse stakes. It's going for a purse of $350,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 12 horses entered to go to the Matt Winn turf course. The distance of ground is 1,600 meters or a mile here in the opening verse. Top selection, gonna go with the 9-horse Carl Spackler, 9-10-4-3 for me in the superfecta, 9-10-4-3 super. Top selection 9-horse Carl Spackler, 4-year-old called by Lupe de Vega. Chaperon trains, Tyler Gaffleone gets to mount. The horse's most recent outing, 1st September at Saratoga, a mile 16th on the inner turf course in the Grade 3 Saranac. He won by 2.5 lengths that day, and he stalked all the way around the race course. He was a little bit wide late, but he got the job done going away. I thought that was a very good, strong run. His races at the spot last summer were very superb. Prior to that, in the Hall of Fame over the mile on the 11th of August, he won by 2.25 lengths. And again, he sat back early, a little bit wide, but he rallied to get the job done. Very good performance there. His only subpar race came on this turf course last year, which is a little, I worry a little bit. He came in the American Turf last May over the mile 16th, where he finished 8th by 4.25 lengths. He was very wide and didn't have the best beginnings that day, and he might need the race also off the long refreshing. He is going off the workout patterns. He is coming off with the workout patterns. Looks like he's coming off the bench decently. Half mile drill and 47.4 on the dirt this week here at Churchill, quite nicely done. And then a pace and 5 furlongs on the turf course, and a minute and 1/5 of a second. He has serious ability here today. Lupe de Vega at the mile distance, mile 16th, not bad. These horses really like to run. I'll use them. I think the 10-horse Talk of the Nation for Ira Ortiz Jr. and Tom Pletcher coming also. First time in the Pletcher barn. Most recent, the McGahey barn and the Bryan Station at Keelan in the fall over the mile, where he finished second by a head that day, and again, stupidly wide, but he was really gaining late as a favorite. Prior to that, Kentucky Downs in the gun run over the mile, he won by a half a length that day, and he basically stalked easily and got the job done that day, and then had a decent place in the Manilia at Belmont. His races, last fall, he didn't take the traditional route. He went to Monmouth, went to Kentucky Downs, and went to Keelan. Those races weren't bad at all. He is stepping up in some class from some of those races, but I think at 3-1 he has serious ability here. Gonna have to overcome a wide poster, but I'll use him here in this Thurby Day preview, Thurby Day feature. Can't speak. To recap my selection for the 11th now from Churchill, it's the opening verse. Gonna take the 9-horse Carl Spackler. Give kudos to the 10-horse Talk of the Nation. 9-10-4-3 super. 9-10 in the multi-race. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.